Hi, my name is Quincy Tobin, and I am a fourth year studying landscape architecture at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. And this is an overview of my proposal of theory on human sexuality and landscape architecture. So, to start off, what got me into this is in the recent years I've had an increased interest in becoming a sex therapist or a sexual health educator, and I've kind of struggled and been stressed about how I can link the two. When last quarter in my cultural studio, I had the opportunity to give a presentation on human sexuality and the landscape. And so getting into this, when starting that research, I stumbled upon the concept of ecosexuality, which is kind of this identity or belief system centered around seeing the earth as a lover and kind of seeing that as the best way to become a steward, just like this quote says here. And as I go through this, feel free to pause if there's anything you'd like to read more up close. And so these are just pictures and captions that go more further in detail of what ecosexuality and ecofetishism is. And so when looking at these, I was kind of like, has this always been around? Where did this start? What are the origins? How this has to be connected to society in a different way. And so looking into that, I started with creation theories, and the most blatant one was the Garden of Eden within Christianity, and seeing as that under that belief system, the first acts of sex, love, and connection were consummated in a garden amongst natural features and whatnot. And seeing as this translates over time throughout cultures, throughout the world, in symbolism of natural forms representing sex, love, and desire, like the lotus flower. Pomegranate is a very significant one. The walnut. And ones that are very obvious in today's culture, like mistletoe, or the gifting of a bouquet to a lover to express, that you love them. And also tying gender into this and seeing how gender and sexuality intermingle in the landscape as well, where femininity is highly associated with gardens and natural forms and whatnot. And then seeing literal examples like this, the Chiang Mai erotic garden in Thailand, which is what it says it is. It's an erotic garden. And from this, kind of realizing that there is a distinct linkage here that I could create theory based upon. And so getting into that, my thesis for my senior project is this. A distinct relationship lies between human sexual expression and landscape architecture. The universally understood power of the natural world becomes the perfect medium to portray and communicate cultural ideals and feelings that may feel too overwhelming to show in any other way, i.e. feelings of love and desire. However, the ways in which these expressions manifest in vernacular and design landscapes enter cyclical relationships with societal ideals and standards over time. Landscape influences human, and human influences landscape. As cultures shift their outlook on sex and sexuality, landscapes change. This can be observed when tracking the creation and infiltration of heteropatriarchy and forming of landscapes that further perpetuate suppression of women, femme, and queer-aligned identities, as well as sexual freedom. Seeing as landscape architecture has the power and to place further shame on sexual expression, it also has the potential to promote sexual freedom as well. And throughout this project, I will be examining the ways in which landscape architecture has played into this patriarchal society as well, and what are the distinct forms in which we can bring in that promote a more fluid, welcoming, understanding, free society. And looking at situations like this, like in the instance of neighborhoods right here, how systemically sexual subcultures and identities are placed into confines and exiled from the daily lives of the heteronormative suburban lifestyle. And with that, as well as how the environment and world around us and built structures further perpetuate rape culture as well. Looking at sexuality just like the word landscape, in that it has so many meanings that intersect with one another. Gender, sexuality, love, desire, all in one. And examining this all under the scope of many different disciplines like psychology, sociology, anthropology, geography, and landscape architecture to come up with a way to create this distinct link and to pinpoint what the opportunities are to end the suppression of sexual freedom as well. And with that, I thank you for your time. I look forward to feedback and as well as furthering my progress on this project. Thank you so much.